You did a good job.
All right, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming. All right.
Senator, we get one more, please. That's all I've got. But yeah. Okay. Brian's going to get this. Hi, Senator. Do you have any commitments you need to go quick? Or you want Brian to go first? You want to go first? Huh? Come on up. All right. I would like to introduce Senator Kim Hammer, who is on the Senate Education Committee. He can give you some updates on what the Senate Education Committee is doing on immigration.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it. I'm Kim Hammer. I'm State Senator representing Saline County, West Pulaski County in my second term in the Senate. And so I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to go first. I'll be conducting the funeral service for the vet fireman that was killed last weekend tomorrow, and I need to go be with the family here a little bit. I'm not going to take all of the information. I'll leave some for my distinguished colleagues that I appreciate very much on the House end. On the Senate ethics, sorry, wrong one. On the Senate education, we are just actually getting started. We had our first meeting the other day, just kind of get things started. There was a bill that I was able to get through that dealt with the start of school time. You all may remember when we passed a piece of legislation last time, it required earlier start date, and that really created some problems for those of you that are interested about the school system. What this will do is allow them to finish up the semester before Christmas, whereas the way it was before, it pushed them after Christmas, which really, my wife's been educated 39 years, she's now on the Benton School Board. It really creates a learning loss over the Christmas holiday. And so now it'll allow them to start before Christmas, and also won't push them so far into the summer. So that'll be a good thing in my opinion. And we were able to get it out. It got off the Senate floor today, had an emergency call, so the schools can go ahead and get their calendar set. Representative Vaught carried it on the other end, which appreciate her very much. We're kind of like you. We'll wait and see what's coming out in the education package. We've all heard it, seen little bits and pieces, but I'm going to live by the theory. When it comes out, we'll see exactly what's in it, because right now, depending on what you listen to, who you listen to, there's everything, some things, not some things, that kind of thing. Perhaps I'll defer to Brian, who is the chair of House Education. He may have greater insight, but we're anxiously waiting to see how it comes out. I personally think there's going to be a lot of things in it that a lot of people like. There'll be some things people don't like, but overall I think we're going to come out with a great win when it's all said and done. That's my personal opinion, okay? I'm blessed to be in a district that has a lot of strong schools in Saline County, okay? But also we're recognize the fact there are a lot of places in Arkansas that don't have a lot of strong schools. And so we need to do what we got to get our educational levels up to where I think we all need to be successful as a state. With that, I don't want to take too much of Brian or Paul's time away or thunder, so I'll just be glad to answer any questions about education or anything else you want to ask about that I can answer.
When did you guys see HB 1156, the bathroom bill that went through the House Education Committee today?
To clear that, the House Education
is not voting that Tuesday. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see it. We see it about 3 days after. We see it in committee 2 days after it comes off the House floor.
How do you feel?
Been so much in a hurry there,
Right now?
I don't know about a committee, but I tell you how I feel. Boys, I go to the boys' room, girls, I go to the girls' room. That's it. That's my opinion. Pretty simple. Go where God needs you. That's all I gotta say. You shouldn't need a bill for it, but it's the day and time we live in. Okay. Any other questions? Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Since Sarah Sanders did put a ban on the Latinx and the CRT and yada yada yada, when is that going to stop?
I would think it's up to the Department of Ed to get stopped now. I will tell you on the CRT thing, this is my learning. You got the committee that meets during the summer to look at what are the requirements and then it's delegated to the schools. Here's what you got to bring the material to it. I will tell you what I think is going to come out in the proposed legislation, that is that all materials are going to have to be posted on a public website, and any deviations, and that'll have to be approved by the school board or by the authorities overseeing, which would be superintendents, and all materials will have to be posted publicly to where parents can see what's going to be taught. And I will tell you what I've passed on to administration today when I had a little meeting with them, and that is, if there's any deviation from that in the classroom, like a teacher tries to insert something that has not been approved, then I think there ought to be disciplinary actions, including dismissal, if there is something that is not approved that a teacher independently decides to insert in that. I would suspect right now that if that is detected by a parent or whatever, you get hold of your senator or your representative, and I imagine we can get it dealt with pretty quick. It can come to us in the meantime. I do want to tell you one thing. I'm chair of Joint Performance Review, and Joint Performance Review is the committee that kind of has the overall arching authority to do whatever we want, okay? One of the things that is going to be on my agenda once we get out of session, we get into the summer, and we start having those JPR meetings, what I want to do is I want to start bringing in higher ed down to the professor level and start bringing them in front of that committee and start exposing some of the things I think that's being done in the culture at our higher ed institution. Because if you, in the social worker program, or even in some of these educational classes, a lot of what I think happens is the indoctrination that happens at that level that is then turned out into society, either through mental health being done by social workers, not all, this is not a blanket statement, or into the classroom. And so I think what we got to do is we got to go back to the source of where it's being indoctrinated at the professional level in order to cut it off at the lower level. And then we come in from the backside and we cut it off. We cut it off from the bottom, we cut it off from the top, and close the gap. That's one of my goals, one of my agendas as chair of JPR when we get out. Yes, ma'am.